Okay, hey everybody. In this lecture right here, we're going to be talking about Snapseed. Snapseed is the best app I was able to find to edit pictures for free on your and I'm going to show you all the features that it has. You don't have to pay anything for it. The app's completely free for iPhone. And it has so many features, it's going to blow your mind. It's almost equivalent to editing your picture on a computer. So you're going to be able to edit amazing images using this app. So in this lecture, I'm going to show you all the features, and then in future lectures, I'm going to show you how I would edit certain pictures using Snapseed. Now, the reason you see two screens here is because the screen on the right is going to be showing my fingers, so you can see what I'm pressing on. And you can follow along and know how to press, zoom in, and do functions with the finger. And on the left side is the HD version of everything that's happening. So you can see how the final result image is looking. So first I'm going to open Snapseed, right? Now, if you open it for the first time, it looks like this. Tap anywhere to open a photo. So I'm going to tap right on the screen, click Open from Devices, Favorites, and I already have a picture I'm choosing to show you and edit. So the first thing is it's going to show you last edit. So any last edits basically has all the edits that you did on the last picture. So for example, if you have 10 pictures that are similar and you want to have the exact same edits, then you can just click last edit every time you open a new picture, and it's going to do all the same edits automatically. And then you can adjust every little thing. So I'll show you that later on. Here's some presets of stuff. So portrait, it's basically several things that the app does, and then you can edit each thing that it did. So I'll show you those little things later. There is smooth, pop. And if you just want a quick edit, sometimes you can just go through these presets and pick one that looks good and just use that. But obviously for this lecture, I'm going to show you all the tools, but it instantly, when you open the picture, has some presets that you can use. So I'm going to go to current, which is going to erase everything, and then press the plus button. The X button, sorry. The plus button will save the picture. Okay, so I press the X button, and then I'm here where the picture is. If you click on looks, you have those presets, right? If you go to tools, you have all the tools. And then if you click on export, you can save the picture to your phone or post it somewhere. So let's go on the top left here. You see it says open. If you click open, it's going to erase this image and open another one. You can save the image first before you open another picture. So you can only edit one at a time. And then I'll show you what these top three do a little later. So now the first one we're going to go to click on is called tools. When you click on tools, you have all these options here. Okay. Tune image, detail, curves, white balance, crops, rotate, perspective, expand, and so much more. So we're going to go one by one, and I'm going to quickly show you what each one does. So when you click on tune image, which is the first one, in order to adjust anything under the tune image, you have to hold and then slide your finger up and down. So if I hold and slide down, then you see all the options. So I'm sliding up and down and I see all the different options I have. The first one's called brightness, then contrast, saturation, ambience, highlights, shadows, and warmth. Okay? So to adjust any one of these, what you want to do is scroll left and right. So first you click on the one you want. So let's say brightness. And then it's going to show brightness on the top. And it says 0. It's always going to be default at 0, which means none of brightness is adjusted. Certain things can only go up, meaning you can only add to it, you can't take away. And most things you can go down or up, meaning you can take away or add. For brightness, you can take away brightness or add brightness. Brightness makes the picture brighter or darker. So if I slide my finger now to the left, it's going to make the picture darker. And if I slide it to the right, it's going to make the picture brighter. So this is 100% brightness, and this is 100% negative brightness, meaning it's taking away brightness, making the image darker. If I scroll down, we have contrast. Right adds contrast, left subtracts contrast. If you don't know what contrast does, basically contrast is going to make the bright stuff and the dark stuff show more. So the dark is going to become darker and the bright stuff is going to become brighter. And it's going to make basically this, like, add more detail. So this is a little flat in the light, and this adds detail, making the dark stuff definition in the picture. So if you look at her face, you see some definition, and then all the way down it makes the picture almost gray, black, because it's merging the bright stuff and the dark stuff. If I scroll down, saturation makes the colors make them pop more. So you'll add more to the color. So the blues become more blues, the yellows become more yellows, orange more orange, reds more reds, and so on. So as you see all the way up, her skin looks really bad because it's really enhanced the color of her skin. My skin, the shirts became more blue, and the background, the stuff with color, became more colorful. And then taking away saturation all the way makes the picture black and white. So you got rid of all the color. So saturation is color. The next one is ambience. It's kind of like grabbing the scene, intelligently figuring out what makes the scene like the ambient light, meaning like the light in the background, right? If we were to raise that, what will the scene look like? And it's kind of like brightness, but more intelligent. So it's almost a better way to make the picture brighter without it looking ugly. So sometimes what I recommend is, based on your picture, adjust brightness or ambience to see which one looks better. Okay? The next one, I'll put this at 0. It's highlights. Highlights makes the bright stuff brighter and the dark stuff darker. Highlights makes the bright stuff brighter or darker. So just the bright stuff in the picture. So as you see here, the bright stuff is kind of like her skin, and this thing over here, this white stuff there, this tint. So this tint is getting brighter or is getting darker, and her skin too a little, because our skins were hit with light. So anything that was hit with light that's bright is gonna be affected by this. Then if I go to shadows, anything that's dark, that's in the shadow, is affected by this. I can make the stuff that's in the shadow brighter. So my pants are in the shadow, those are getting brighter by raising the shadows, or they get darker by lowering the shadows. Anything that was in the shadow, which is most of the image, is getting darker because it was in the shadow. Now, if you want to make sure that you get to 0 when you move to stuff. Now, warmth makes the picture warmer or cooler. It's kind of like white balance, because in white balance you're trying to make the image warmer or cooler to match the scene. But this is more like to tune an image to, like, if you feel like this is a nice summer day and you want it to look warm, then you can add a little bit of warmness, and then the picture looks better. Not really to fix the color, but more to like make the mood of the image appropriate for the condition of the picture. So this was outside in the daytime, this summer, because we're wearing short sleeve shirts. So I'm going to add some warmth to the image. If we were wearing jackets and stuff and it was cool, I would take away some warmth to show that it's cool outside and add those blue tones to the image. That's just the color of the image, basically. And that's it when it comes to the first tool, which is the tune tool. Now, the other thing I want to show you is if I raise the brightness all the way and I hold it, right? So I hold the picture, it's going to show me the before I made that adjustment, and then when I let go, after. So before and after. That's very important because as you're doing a lot of adjustments, sometimes you can't tell because the adjustments are very minor. So in order to be able to tell that the adjustment is being made, you have to see the before and after. So if I raise the brightness only a little bit, like 10, I might not be able to tell I raised the brightness unless I go before and after. And I can kind of see it now. So that's what that does. Now, another thing you want you to show you guys how to do is zooming in on the picture. If you pinch the picture with 2 fingers, you're zooming in. Certain tools let you zoom in more than others. This one only lets me zoom in this much. And once you're zoomed in, going up and down, left and right is not going to let you move around in the picture. To move around in the picture, you want to click on this box here. So this big white box, and then you click on the blue box, hold it, and then move around. This lets you move around in the picture. So I'm going to move it here to her face, raise the brightness according to how I want. Let's say I want all the adjustments to be relative to her face. I'll adjust everything. Shadows, highlights, warmth, and I just fix everything while staring at her face full screen, and I can go before and after. So that's it when it comes to that. To zoom out again, I pinch out. Once it's full screen, that box disappears because there's no reason to move around the image because I can see the whole image. The last thing I want to show you guys is if you press down here, it auto adjusts whatever tool you're messing with. So I'm in warmth. If I go to brightness, saturation. So this tool right here, what this tool does is adjust all of them to what the app feels like is going to be the best adjustment for every single one. So another thing you can do is you can click on this little bar here with the sliders, and it's going to show all this in case you want to see what all the adjustments were that you made. If I click on that magic thing, that little kind of like a chalk piece of chalk or marker with 3 little stars on it, it's going to adjust all of these. So if I raise the highlights, ambience, lower the contrast. This is my settings. If I click on this, it adjusted everything to what it thinks the brightness should be, contrast should be, shadow should be, warmth should be. And that's on a kind of like on a tool to tool basis. So some of the tools will have this and it will adjust everything intelligently. So if you don't know how to adjust this, you can click on this. But my suggestion is to go one by one and then see how you're making the picture better. So that's it when it comes to the tune tool. And now we're gonna move on. In order to save everything, you're gonna press the plus. Then you go to tools and then you can click on something else. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next lecture.